After finishing the Umbrella Academy series, I went on watching ending explained videos along with interviews just so I could move on from the ache I felt for such a bittersweet ending. And a comment take by viewers say that the season is too rushed, and it just popped up in my head that it was a season for the family to wrap things up in their personal lives before they cease to exist. And I say this because one reviewer said that the siblings aren't working together anymore as much, and they were right. Allison simply went to look for the missing Klaus and both reconciled after the latter just dropped the bomb that Allison may have only kept him around to feel better for herself. And there may be truth in that, especially at some point of their lives, but that does not reduce their genuine care for each other deep down. Next, Luther's way of life at the time reminds me of a normal old man just living after finally accepting a very hard fact of their past, of which in this case is that he never really get to live a normal life with his love Sloan. A normal life of which he is happy to see in Diego's. Bro is even simply trying to make the best of what's left of his family. This is corroborated too by how he is with Ben. Also, Ben, who was either dead for years and never got to grow up, or is able to do so but is always cooped up by some other matters like missions, businesses, or scams, got a chance at love, romance, and heartbreak along with sibling love and reconciliation through saving Victor, knowing full too well he's gone too far to be saved and giving them clues about the original timeline. A similar chance at love, romance, and heartbreak was also experienced with a real person this time by Five, despite being less ideal. He seemed more human, particularly in his apparent capability of being less logical, as for once, he is accompanied by someone in the apocalyptic aftermath. Such a short relationship had also strengthened Lila's love for her family, especially her kids, of which had also contributed to Diego finally letting go of his ego and seeing Lila and the family they made for the true value they hold. Even his subplot with Luther in the CIA didn't lead them back into their mission right away, but rather their home with the relatives he admitted once to be annoying. Next, Victor spent most with their father, Mr. Hargreaves, and even their whole time felt more like a therapeutic experience, reconciling with the man who started all his trauma, as his father more than once gave his suggestions a try.
It is now abundantly clear to this version of myself that you deserve to wear the uniform just as much, if not more, than the others.
Moreover, Mr. Hargreaves' decrease in stubbornness may be influenced by the additional years he gets to spend with his wife, whose death caused him loneliness, grief, and pride of which he was unable to control. Moreover, Abigail responded with no such hate, but simply called him out and acted upon the penance she'd always wanted to have, this time with and no longer leaving her grieving husband behind. In the end, the show include the usual of each member doing their own stuff before coming together one last time, last minute for the final blow. But the mission was simply no longer as forefront as they used to. It felt less of that and more so an additional few days of life before their inevitable inexistence, wrapped up with 8 marigolds and a normal day to tell or mark that they've been there.